One.
Yes.
We're ready to stand, we're going to call the meeting to order. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Member Steele? Absent. Member Lyon-Welch?
Here.
Member Frederick? Here. Member Billsborough?
Here.
Member Holbrook?
Here.
Member Dean? Here. Member Lake?
Here. Thank you. Next we have presentation and building program highlights via Max Larson data snapshot.
Yes. I have my amazing team, part of my team here with me tonight.
The entire teaching.
Yeah.
Max Larson.
Kelly Stroud, Mrs. Stroud is here, young 5 teacher. 30, how many years in the district?
37.
37 years in the district.
I'm going for 40 in case you want to know.
That's dedication right there, yes. Hannah Habrel and Jamie Schwartz are here to present with me tonight. And it's fair to say that you wouldn't try to write your own symphony before understanding musical notes and how they work together. Similarly, when students are learning to read, they need to have a mastery of phonemic awareness, a crucial component of phonological awareness. And we are going to explain some of those things first before we show you our data.
So phonemic awareness is all of those individual tiny sounds, the smallest sounds, and it's the student's ability to manipulate them by deleting, segmenting, and blending.
Phonemic awareness is a component of phonological awareness, so it's helpful to define phonological awareness too. Cunningham and Zabolski define it as the ability to perceive and manipulate sounds. Phonological awareness includes 4 levels of sound: word awareness, syllable awareness, onset rhyme awareness, and phoneme awareness.
And it's really important to note that phonemic awareness and phonological awareness are 2 separate things. So our phonological awareness could be thought of as a large umbrella. So everything in those basic foundational skills of phonics that we need to teach kids, like the phonemic awareness, knowing syllables, onset and rhyme, and those blending skills, are all underneath the umbrella of phonological awareness.
Yeah, and then if we're looking at phonemic awareness, we're asking kids to, they're working kind of in a continuum from simpler to more complex. And we're asking them to do things like say the sound in the beginning of a word as isolation. So when we're talking to our young learners, we'll ask them like, what's the first sound in teacher? And what's the last sound in bus? And those are the things we need to hear from them. Those are a little bit easier, especially the first sounds. Then they're blending sounds and then breaking words into parts. And it starts to get more tricky for them as they're going on. And so we'd be asking them, like if I said to you, if I say, what word do you have? And that's what they're needing, and they're building and working on that blending. And then it becomes a little bit even more challenging than that when we're asking them to substitute and delete phonemes. So if we were saying what's farm without what word do you have now? Or what's train without at the end. That's the hardest for my first graders, is deleting the final phoneme on there. But it's really important for early literacy that they have that phonemic awareness to make sure that they are understanding that the printed words are connected to the sounds that they're making and the words that they're speaking. And we know that what we're working on is building such a strong foundation as they continue to move through their school careers.
Thank you. So in your folder today, you have the proficiency report that looks like this. And the brief slide show I'm going to give you this evening has to do with this data. So the slide information came from this data that you have. And you can dig a little deeper in that. But we'll start with the accelerated growth across all levels at Max Larson. Our letter naming correctness jumped from 26% in the fall to 71% in just 1 quarter. The ceiling effect for first grade is now at 94%. Students have achieved near universal mastery of letter sounds, so we don't need to do that anymore. Our gap is closing, and our first grade multi-language students trail the gen ed population, or the general education kiddos, by only 2 percentage points. In quarter 1, only 10% of young 5 students met the mastery threshold, but by quarter two, 54% were meeting standards, with the average score jumping from 26 to 71. And this is a great snapshot of before and after. Also, the insufficient, if you're looking at the red bar in the fall compared to now, I'm expecting that that will even close further by the end of the year. While letter naming relies on visual recall, letter sounds requires decoding, as they were just mentioning. Despite the increased difficulty, students quadrupled their proficiency from 14% to 68% in letter sounds. Young fives, our multi-language students are catching up. So I want to just give a shout out to our multi-language team at Max Larson. They're working very, very hard with our new to this country kids that come in and they don't speak a word of English. So that's what makes this even more impressive to me. Kindergarten.
Tell me what a letter sound is?
What is a letter sound?
Yeah, is it how the particular letter is?
What sound does the letter make? So T, T says T, so the letter sounds.
Okay.
Should we start with the A for now?
Pardon?
It's about.
I'm a slow learner.
It's okay. So,
Sorry.
that's okay. Letter naming is approaching universal mastery. So by mid-year, 81% of the kindergartners are meeting mastery standards in letter naming. The average score now being 88%, suggesting instructional time can soon be reallocated. So once they've mastered that, we move on. Solidifying the phonics code with letter sounds performance nearly doubled, moving from 42% average correctness in quarter one to 80% in quarter two. So the majority of the class has shifted into the meeting standard, which is the green bar. The past assessment is the last bank of items that Mrs. Schwartz was mentioning. The students excel by not just those auditory tasks like syllable blending, but they seem to struggle with the phoneme segmentation, and that tells us what we really need to be dialing down on in the third quarter. We have kindergarten equity. Again, multi-language students are performing remarkably close to the general population. The gap is stabilizing as language acquisition catches up to their cognitive skills. First grade performance demonstrates the ceiling effect. We don't need to be working on these things anymore. Like I mentioned, we can move on. By the middle of first grade, multilingual learners are now performing at statistical parity or equivalency with the general population in foundational skills. And this is our breakdown across all cohorts. Uppercase letters, we have high accuracy on. Lowercase letters, we need to keep working on that a little bit. But we've got that consonant sound with high accuracy, and the long vowel sounds are giving some of our kiddos some issues, but that's in that phonemic category that's confusing for them. This is my favorite slide because this shows where we started and where we are now. So the young fives have absorbed the most net new information while first grade maintained high stability, which is what we want. They're going to be working on things like fluency and comprehension now. Our key takeaways: celebrate, sustain young fives growth is quite exceptional, maintain current instructional pacing. Secondly, kindergarten must focus heavily on phoneme segmentation. We're at 47%, and we're looking to continue to push that for quarter three. And then third, our first grade should reduce letter ID testing and reallocate time to reading fluency. And 4, monitor the equity. Continue aggressive support for young fives multilingual students to replicate the gap closure seen in first grade. Do you have any questions?
Thank you.
Very nice.
Thank you. Awesome.
This information is then shared as the student goes from first to second grade, from building
Correct.
to building, so
Yes.
the teachers in second grade have a good understanding of where to start with each individual student.
Correct.
Thank you.
Yep. And then you have copies of this slideshow that has the pictures of the kiddos and what's been happening at Max Larson. But you can look at that later so I don't exceed my 5 minutes. Thank you so much.
time to give her a raise. She's great.
If she drives the bus.
Yeah, you're gonna drive them up.
We'll do the AM route.
Thank you, that was a very nice presentation. Thank you. Next, we have request for public participation. I have one. Jessica Foreman-Silla.
Hi. I was just kind of hoping to get, like, I guess, actual information about what's going on with the busing in the district. I have 3 children in Coldwater schools, 1 in the high school, 2 in different elementary buildings. And luckily for my husband and I, we've been able to make the bus disruptions work in our home, but I know that not all families are able to do that. And most recently, we utilize Kids Club in the morning for before school care for our children. And we were just notified that tomorrow we can't utilize that at all because there's no bus to take the kids from Kids Club to their various buildings. Additionally, you know, we just finished up the basketball season, and we had no busing for the boys throughout that season, which, you know, a 12-man team, we make it work with the parents, but now we're going into track season with apparently also no busing for far more children than the basketball team is. So I just kind of wanted to get, you know, obviously people talk, and I just wanted to get the actual information. If this is like, we just physically can't find bodies to put in buses, if it's a pay issue, I just wanted to get the actual information.
Would you like me to respond to it?
It's up to you.
It is a severe driver shortage. We are looking at each and every type of way to attract drivers, whether it be pay. We're currently ranked among the highest paid, but it's about people.
Okay.
We have 2 types of bus runs. We have special education runs that are required by a student's IEP, and we have the general education runs. We're required by law to provide any student with an IEP that says that they need transportation. So if a special education bus driver is unable to drive due to sickness, family illness, whatever, we ask the other bus drivers to fill in for that, and then we try to find subs to fill in where we can. Currently, Holly Muckle, our transportation director, and her secretary are driving both in the morning and in the afternoons.
Okay.
Both elementary and high school runs. It's simply lack of drivers. We're trying to work with the other districts in the county to have a countywide substitute pool. Hopefully we'll have that in place for next year. We've advertised like crazy for bus drivers. We offer, we'll train them, we'll provide them with competitive wages. It's trying to find people to work.
Are you comfortable sharing like what the starting pay is for a bus driver in the district so we can spread the word if people are interested?
If I knew it off the top of my head, but I don't.
I know a sub is $17.86, I believe, per sub.
For a
And they
sub.
start out as a sub until they get trained, and then I think it goes to like $20.86 in the first year, I believe.
Okay.
So, and then it goes up from there.
Okay. Thank you.
Next, we have the approval of minutes. Oh, yes, you guys don't have to stay.
I told them.
I mean, we have exciting meetings. My time's up. Next, we have the approval of the minutes from February 23rd, 2026. Is there a motion?
So moved. Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next, we have, are there any additions or deletions to the agenda?
No.
Next, we have the consent agenda, communications,
None?
personnel recommendations.
Relative to support staff recommendations, the Board of Education approved the administration recommendation to employ Corey Langridge for the bus driver position for Coldwater Community Schools effective February 27, 2026. The Board of Education approved the administrative recommendation to employ Christine Goheen for the sub-supervisor position at Max Larson Elementary, effective immediately. The Board of Education approved the administrative recommendation to employ Allison Walensky for the RTP coordinator position at Lakeland Elementary, effective immediately upon board approval. The Board of Education approved the administrative recommendation to employ Bella Carrion for the part-time behavior support paraprofessional at Lakeland Elementary, effective immediately. The Board of Education approved the administrative recommendation to employ Cassandra Galvin for the caregiver position at Kids Club Daycare at Lincoln Learning Center, effective immediately. The Board of Education approved the administrative recommendation to employ Valentina Sherry Linares for the part-time behavior support paraprofessional immigrant student focus at Max Larson Elementary, effective immediately. The Board of Education accept the resignation of Brittany Schweikert from the sub-bus driver position at Max Larson Elementary, effective immediately. The Board of Education accept the resignation of Taya Vosberg from the caregiver position at Kids Club Daycare at Lincoln Learning Center, effective February 26, 2026. And the Board of Education accept the resignation of Corey Langridge from the sub-bus driver position at Coldwater Community Schools, effective immediately.
Thank you. Next, we have the approval of the February accounts for payment and financial statements via Dr. Frederick.
Be it resolved that the following accounts for February be approved for payment as follows. General fund accounts in the amount of $2,228,330.55. Special revenue accounts in the amount of $211,575.80. And be it resolved that the general fund financial statements be approved as presented.
Thank you. Next, we have acceptance and approval of gifts via member Dean.
Recently, the administration was made aware of the following gift offered by the donor listed below. Recognition and approval for acceptance of the gift is being sought. From the City of Coldwater and CBPU, the Interact Club for the ABC Challenge received $500. And from Good, Better, Best, Alyssa Hammond from Lakeland Elementary received $500. The gracious and continued support of the donor listed above is sincerely appreciated. We ask that the board accept the gift noted and acknowledge the donor's generosity. It is recommended and resolved that the Board of Education gratefully accept the gifts as presented, and be it further resolved that a letter of appreciation on behalf of the board be sent to the donor indicated above for their worthwhile and generous gift.
Thank you, Claire. That's the consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Let's see, next we have building reports. Today I found out, well, actually yesterday I found out that there's a PSA 9, PSAT 9, a PSAT 10, and today I found out there's a PSAT 8. Are we doing that?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
You gotta be ready.
are our students smarter? How long have we been doing that? Because when I went to school, there was only one PSAT.
Keep getting them ready, earlier and earlier.
So pretty soon a PSA 4.
PSA Young 5, huh?
Okay. All right. Anybody wish to add anything to their building report? No? Excellent. Director of Curriculum.
Excited last week, our HMH version 3 literacy materials that will have full implementation next fall came into each of the elementary buildings. Max Larson did a great job of highlighting foundational reading skills. These materials will help us highlight those and have high quality materials and instruction in every classroom. We will have a half day of training for grade level teams this spring yet to be ready for full implementation in the fall.
Any report on this technology boondoggle you guys went to?
Well, they haven't went, that's this week.
McCall. What does that stand for?
Well, I'm glad you asked because I wrote it down. Michigan Association for Computer Users in Learning.
Thank you. Board committees, we didn't have any, did we?
We did not.
Superintendent's report.
The first thing on my report, I'm swiping from one of the buildings. I'm swiping from Mrs. Reardon with the therapy dog news that after the tragedy of the tornado in Union City, when those students returned to school, they were welcomed by Magnum Canine and several therapy dogs from across the county, including our own Molly from Jefferson Elementary. So we were very happy that we were able to participate in that. This is the second year for Chartwells to get the grant from the state for Ramadan meals for students who are fasting during Ramadan. This is an opportunity for students who choose to fast between sunup and sundown to take food home with them so they can have a nutritious breakfast the following morning before sunup. Parents have to sign their students up for that, and we had great success last year, and we have similar success this year. Buildings and grounds, we're going to meet this week to discuss upcoming projects we're trying to get moving on, such as parking lots, the Jefferson parking lot, Max Larson Media Center, some ideas there, and middle school collaboration rooms to throw out some ideas and see if we can't get moving on some of those and see if we can't get them done this summer.
What day is that?
Tomorrow at 10:30.
Tomorrow at 10:30.
You guys gonna be drinking green beer while you're in?
No, sir, we will not.
Just checking.
For the bond campaign, the videos were recorded last week. We'll schedule them, the release of those as soon as we receive them. The gentleman from the company said we should get them early this week. He was very complimentary because he went to every building in the district to get examples of what bond money can do, especially at Lakeland and the junior high and some of our nicer areas of the district. And he was very complimentary of our staff and how he was treated in each and every building. So I want to share those compliments with the team and with the board. And then the second community information meeting scheduled for tomorrow at 6:30 at the High School Media Center. We've put out reminders on social media and through our app today, as well as the radio station put something out on their social media to encourage more people to show up for tomorrow's meeting as well. And then last week, just a reminder that Rob Holla was the presenter for the vaping assemblies. He presented to the high school, middle school, Lakeland Elementary on the dangers of vaping, and I've heard wonderful reports from people about how well he was received by our kids. So a lot of good things going on.
Thank you very much. Any discussion items? No.
Nope.
Okay, we're gonna move on to the action items if I can find them. This is ridiculous. Maybe you should take over the meeting, Jeff.
I'm just as lost as you are. No, sir.
I don't know where it went. I hate these computers.
Do you have your
Can you larger?
I'm an old man.
slideshow on the left side?
Do I have what?
The slideshow on the left side of
Yeah.
your screen? Okay.
But it doesn't,
Oh, yeah, keep it.
ooh, it might be there. Right there. All right. The first one is a recommendation to approve the purchase of 2026-2027 student athletic accident insurance. We've been buying this for several years. And also we've been buying catastrophic insurance Be it resolved, the Board of Education approves the renewal of the student athletic accident insurance policy with the Gallagher Special Risk, Michigan, for the 2026-2027 school year in the amount of $30,721. Be it further resolved that the Board of Education approves the purchase of both a catastrophic and heart/circulatory insurance policies, Gallagher Special Risk of Kalamazoo, Michigan, for 2026-2027 school year at a cost of $2.98 per student athlete. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Support. Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Member Lyon Welch?
Yes.
Excuse me. Member Frederick?
Yes.
Member Billsborough?
Yes.
Member Holbrook?
Yes.
Member Steele? Absent. Member Dean?
Yes.
Member Lake?
Yes. Motion passes.
Can I ask a question?
Yep.
So we have catastrophic insurance for every student,
These are for athletes.
so we don't have one for every student?
If something happens to a student in our school or on our school property, our regular insurance carrier SETSEG covers that. This is catastrophic insurance for athletes specifically.
So in one sense, all of our students are covered.
Absolutely. And there was no increase in premium from last year's coverage, or this year's coverage to next year's coverage.
Thank you.
Roll.
Next, we have the recommendation to approve the purchase of vape sensors for the high school and the middle school. Be resolved, the Board of Education approves the recommendation to purchase vape sensors and licenses for the high school and middle school from Monarch for the total cost not to exceed $14,627.60. As presented, is there a motion?
Moved. Support.
Any discussion?
Now, the
Yeah.
other vape sensors that we had were destroyed, is that right?
No, we had one that was destroyed by a student, but that one's been being replaced. These are, because we don't receive all of the money from the vape settlement at one time, the district, I believe, had chosen to purchase vape sensors as the money became available to us.
So we've purchased 2 so far.
2 sets.
4. Now we're purchasing another set, another 2. They come in sets of 4.
No, this is actually, we're buying 13 vape sensors in this order.
All right.
Yeah, yeah.
Did we buy 2 previously?
We purchased,
Like 6 or 8 months?
I don't know how many
I knew they didn't
it
come right
was,
away.
but there was a few. I mean, it was just based on the amount of money that we got. So however many we could order with the amount of money that we had received, we ordered.
Okay.
So,
Where are they located at?
In the bathrooms and locker rooms of the high school, middle school, and Lakeland, I believe.
no, like.
Not Lakeland yet.
Yeah.
Are they working as a deterrent?
They work, and we respond. I would like to add that the one vape detector that was vandalized, that student has made restitution for that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next, we have the recommendation to approve the removal of asbestos flooring material at LMS and CHS, which seems like a good thing to do. Be it resolved, the Board of Education approves the request to remove and dispose of asbestos flooring material at Lake Middle School in the amount of $4,500, at the high school in the amount of $12,250, and these are in the nursing office?
In the clinics, yeah.
Clinics. Is there a motion?
So moved. Support.
So
Any
they're doing
discussion?
the renovations in the clinic and have to
Yeah.
remove the asbestos.
Yeah, and since it's our building and the asbestos was there before they got there, it's our responsibility to remove the asbestos.
But it's already been done, actually?
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next, we have the recommendation to approve the Lakeland School field trip. Administration recommends approval of the out-of-state 5th grade field trip to Fort Wayne Children's Zoo in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Be it resolved, the Board of Education approves the 5th grade field trip to Fort Wayne Children's Zoo on May 15, 2026. Is there a motion?
So moved. Support.
Any discussion? Is this the old Fronty Park? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next, we have the request to approve the proposal from Business Impressions for the purchase of a copier at Max Larson along with the monthly maintenance costs. Be resolved, the Board of Education approve the purchase of the Xerox Altalink C8270 plus monthly maintenance fees for Max Larson Elementary under the Michigan Deal Cooperative Purchasing Contract as presented. Is there a motion?
So moved. Support.
And you can explain, Rochelle, that this is a better deal than...
Yeah, so like when I started here, we were leasing several copiers and then they changed the law on how you had to account for copiers. So when that law changed in the audit, we started looking at when our copier leases were starting to run out, we started purchasing the copiers as opposed to leasing them. The cost is kind of more upfront, but less in the long run because your copier costs that you pay for a maintenance agreement are much less than what they will charge you in a lease. So we're just trying to get on a rotating cycle of once we have all the leases done, then we'll get on a cycle of replacing copiers on an every so often basis so that we're still getting the newer copiers, we're just going to purchase them instead of leasing them.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next, we have the recommendation to appoint independent financial auditor for fiscal years 2025, 2026, 27, 28. We've used Hungerford Nichols. Do they still have Hungerford and Nichols? I thought it was just Hungerford.
I think it's just Hungerford now. I don't know that they've dropped the Nichols off the name yet, so.
Well, we've done that for several, how many years?
It's been a
13 or
long time.
14 or something?
2011.
Be it resolved, the Board of Education approves the administrative recommendation to accept the 3-year audit proposal from Hungerford Nichols for the fiscal years 2025, 26, 27, 28 as presented. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Support.
Roll call vote.
Member Holbrook.
Yes.
Member Steele. Not absent. Member Dean.
Yes.
Member Billsborough.
Yes.
Member Lyon Welch.
Yes.
Member Frederick.
Yes.
Member Lake.
Yes, motion passes. Next, we have the request to consider approval of a 1-year contract extension for the food service management with Chartwells, which we've done for several years. Be it resolved, the Board of Education approves with prior approval from the Michigan Department of Education. It's the first of 4 contract extensions with Chartwells Food Services for the upcoming 2026-2027 school year as presented. Is there a motion?
So moved. Support.
Any discussion?
A little more explanation on 4 possible extensions. How, is it just one contract with them?
So
For different buildings?
we have to put it out to bid every 5 years.
Okay.
And last year, the bid was accepted for the 5 years, but according to the state guidelines, we have to approve the contract every year.
Okay. Got it. So 4 extensions plus 1 makes 5.
Yeah.
I can do. Yeah. Okay.
You better not give us any more of these healthy snacks, though.
I'll put it on.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next, we have the recommendation to approve the purchase of bus digital video camera systems. Be resolved, the Board of Education to approve accepting the bid from Angel Tracks for bus digital video camera systems in the amount not to exceed $81,457.52, with the final cost expected to be lower depending on which buses require full replacement versus system upgrades. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Support.
Any discussion?
Yes. How many are new? How many need the upgrade? And what determines if they don't need an upgrade? Is it the age of the bus? Is it more recent purchase?
I believe we're upgrading them all.
No, well, it just depends, because we have 2 newer buses that have the newer systems in them. But then we have systems that are Angel Tracks that are prior to that those will have to be updated. When I talked to Holly, she said right now there's 12 buses that will need the full camera replacement. But then the other buses, she didn't give me an exact number, but there's only a handful that are gonna need the hard drive upgrade. They won't need a full camera system installed.
How much do they anticipate, what's the labor cost? I know it's high.
It's broken down, I don't know, I didn't write that
Average
down
takes
here
like
with me.
3 or 4 hours?
Installation, it says, installation is included in this at the cost of $18,200.
Right, but that's for like all 29 buses.
Yeah.
Because when we bid it out, if you're gonna go with a new vendor, you have to bid out your whole fleet.
Right.
And we knew that if we went with Angel Tracks, it wouldn't be the whole fleet. But to be fair to everybody in the bidding process, we said, give us the quote for the full 29
Is Angel Tracks
buses.
new?
No, we've had them.
That's what I
That's
thought.
who we've been using.
Yeah.
But when you put it out for bid, you just wanna make sure everybody has a fair,
Sure.
competitive bid price, so.
Do the old ones work with the new ones?
That's why we have to update the drives
Yeah.
in the older ones. The old ones that we're replacing the whole system, no, they won't. So,
Were those Angel Track too?
I believe
Yeah.
so, but
I
I'm
think
not
it's always been Angel
positive.
Tracks, just new.
Mhm.
But that's why the recommendation says not to exceed
Mhm.
81,000.
I think there should be a roll call.
Member Frederick?
Yes.
Member Billsborough?
Yes?
Member Dean?
Yes.
Member Holbrook?
Yes.
Member Lyon Welch?
Yes.
Member Steele's absent. Member Lake?
Yes, motion passes. Next, the next regular meeting of the Board of Education will be held on Monday, April 27th, 2026 at 6 o'clock in the evening at Lake Middle School located at 175 Green Street, Coldwater. We next have a request to conduct the executive session pursuant to PA 267, Section 8A for the purpose of considering a periodic personnel evaluation of the employee. Roll call vote. Is there a motion?
So we're,
No.
Julie?
It's got to be a roll call vote to go into closed session.
Go ahead. When we're going to fire the superintendent, I think there should be a roll call vote.
Member Steele? Member Lyon Welch?
Yes, I'll have Leslie back.
yes.
Member Billsborough?
Yes?
Member Holbrook? Member Dean?
Yes. I get it, but I set everything up
Yes.
for it today,
Thank you.
Okay.
so.